I think it's safe to say we should all be very prepared to like book it whenever we need to, right? Good morning. Well, it's actually now the afternoon, and guys, I have not filmed for like a YouTube video. I had a late start today, and I want to go to Parque Hundido, which is a really cool park that I've been meaning to check out for a while now. It's really close to where I'm staying at right now, so I think today would be a perfect day to go do that. And I'll probably skip over this part because no one really wants to see me put makeup on. And I have a story time to tell you, so maybe I might do that before we even head out to the park. But anyway, let me just put my makeup on right now. Can you guys hear it? It's been an interesting couple of days. I don't know if I mentioned, but I have been trying to get my dual citizenship for years. And we were trying to do it through my father because he was actually born in Nayarit. And my mom was born in LA. Her parents were also born in Mexico, and then they immigrated to LA. But she did not get her dual citizenship. So in order for me to become a Mexican citizen, one of my parents has to be a citizen. So I cannot get it passed down from my grandparents. I hope you're following it. This is like super vulnerable, by the way. Like, I don't even know what, but whatever, besides the fact. We tried to do it through my father because someone had said, and I think that we even solicited the Mexican consulate, and they had said that he could recognize me as his daughter voluntarily. And we were like, what? Like, that seems too good to be true. Anyway, we took their word for it. And we got the runaround when we went to the Registro Civil. Long story short, that's not possible. You cannot do that. So let's backtrack a little bit. As it stands right now, my mother is not a dual citizen. My father is, so he can pass it down to me. Problem is that he is not on my US birth certificate, or just, I only have one birth certificate. So he's not on my birth certificate. My mother only registered her name under the birth certificate, which 1000% support her in her decisions. They're valid. I am not. We support that. We love that. But what that means now is that I cannot become a Mexican citizen without one of my parents being one. So what they had told us is that like we could probably come to the embassy here in Mexico and try to start that process and that transaction of like putting him on my birth certificate. But it's going to take way longer. So we would have to go back to the United States and we would have to amend my birth certificate and put him on it and also change my last name, which I am not really fond of, honestly. Like I don't think I want to ever change my last name. So I don't think that I want to take that route, which is now plan B, is that I'm going to have to ask my mom if she can become a citizen first, so that once she does, she can pass it down to me. And honestly, I think that this is probably going to be the most straightforward process. Also because like when I was in LA, I had to get a certified copy of my birth certificate so that I can come and try to do what we were trying to do over here in Mexico. And I also grabbed a copy of my mom's as well, just in case. And then my grandparents have their birth certificates from Mexico as well. So I think that the process is going to be fairly easy for her to just go to the consulate and do it that way and then pass it down to me. So that is plan B. That probably should have been plan A. But I think that because they told us that you could do this voluntarily and that it was going to be fine, and it was going to be faster here in Mexico, we tried to do it this way. But no, if anyone ever tells you that, no. They gave us the runaround and then they were like, oh no, you're going to have to change your last name. And last names are a huge thing here too. So even if you look like the spitting image of your parent, you have to change your last name, even if there's like a DNA test and everything. Anyway, so that has been going on, but he was here for a couple of days and I think that was really fun. I had not spent time with my father in years. So it was interesting spending time together as adults, honestly. It's very interesting. I tried to take him to as many places as possible. He really wanted to go to the castle, Castillo de Chapultepec, and that was a lot of fun. And then we went to El Centro Histórico, Zócalo, Bellas Artes. It started raining on us, pouring rain, and we did not have an umbrella, so we were drenched, soaking wet, as if we had just gotten out of the shower. And then everyone else was too, because I don't think anyone was prepared for like that crazy downpour. Some people had umbrellas, but even their umbrellas were breaking because the wind was also coming in. He went on the metro for his first time ever in his life. He was excited about that. I think like he did a lot of things for the first time in his life, and he's like in his 50s, so that was really cool to kind of be a part of that experience. But tying it back to this whole process thing, it's an ongoing thing, but I'm crossing my fingers that we can get this done as soon as possible, so that I don't have to be coming and going every 6 months, because you can only stay in Mexico for 180 days. I need my dual citizenship, guys, and so do you guys if you guys are not only American, because everything that's going on in the world right now, I think it's safe to say we should all be very prepared to like book it whenever we need to, right? But yeah, so that has been going on in my life. And now we're gonna go to Parque Hundido, which I'm gonna take my paraguas with me, because boy, girl, it looks like it's gonna rain. I've never been here, but I've always been passing through when I'm on the Metrobus. Okay, so this Parque Hundido, it's called this because it used to be, this piece of land used to host like a brick manufacturing company. And because they were extracting so much clay, the terrain gradually started sinking. That's why it's all unleveled right now, but it's like basically a sunken park. Then they started building neighborhoods around it. So then they had to sell that brick manufacturing company. And yeah, we're gonna go see it. Apparently there's like a floral clock that's one of the biggest floral clocks, and it measures 10 meters in diameter or something like that. And then they have also 51 artifacts that have been reproduced. And I am going to show you all of this, and maybe do some voiceovers of like really exact history, because I don't want to be butchering any of this when I show it to you. So let's go. Let's have an amazing day. Let's go have a beautiful day. I am really excited. And yeah. Thank you so much for being back and for coming back. I love y'all. I do. I love you. And let's go. Also, a skirt, Devin. Whatever. Here we are at the famous Parque Hundido. It's officially known as Parque Luis Gonzaga Urbina. And Luis Urbina was actually a poet who moved between Romanticism and Modernism in the late 19th and early 20th century. And this park is a sunken gem in the heart of Mexico City. And before it became a park, this area was a brick factory and later a quarry, which is why the pathways sit below street level. And walking here honestly feels like you can feel the layers of the city's history beneath your feet. It's actually aligned with the front entrance of the park, and just through here, right in the middle. We are now walking towards an Olmec head from Veracruz. This is actually one of 51 replicas of prehistoric sculptures that are sprinkled along these paths here. So you'll also run into some Zapotec urns and Huastec figures. This is cool. Like this looks kind of leveled, and then this is going down, 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 down. And that's way more sunken in than this part here. Someone was here reading the newspaper and eating some bread. I'm pretty sure that this park is sitting beneath the flight path, so there are going to be planes coming by every so often. I am currently obsessed with this book right here. I think I'm going to make like a separate reel about it because it's so freaking good. And I'm also obsessed with squirrels. I love observing them. They're such interesting little creatures, and I'm always spying on them. At home, I have a huge tree in front of my balcony, and at some point there were like 7 of them running around, and I think it's just like the most amusing thing. This is an outdoor theater, and I have not checked the events for this month, but how cute would it be to come and watch a movie here? A cute little date night. All the greenery is hanging from these trees. It's honestly so magical. Like, these paths wind through greenery in a way that makes exploring feel like discovering hidden corners of this place. But if you're here for the sculptures or the flowers or just like a leisurely walk, this park offers honestly a unique moment to step away from the city and to notice the history, nature, and design that's around us. It's quite actually a place where nature and history intertwine, and I absolutely love that about this place. It's a little far from the beaten path, which is the good old Roma and touristy places, but I 1000% recommend to come and take a stroll. I've been meaning to visit this cafe for a while now. So as I step out of the park and cross the street, this little coffee shop called Altepetel. I don't even think I'm pronouncing that right. Excuse my pronunciation. But it gives off like autumn vibes, warm lights, soft chatter, and it's like the cozy energy that makes you want to linger. And it kind of reminds me a bit of something out of like Gilmore Girls, where life actually slows down just enough to notice the small things. And walking through the park earlier, I kept thinking about how much life here feels connected. People stop to chat, friends gather on the benches, families that were sharing snacks. There's just like an energy of community that feels real. And it just made me wonder, how is it that I can have so many friends back home being the United States, but yet I feel less rooted and less present? And it's not even about the number of people we know, but the way that we inhabit space together, the shared rituals, the small acts of attention, the consistency, and the open-heartedness, the assurance that we show up for each other through the messy and mundane and not just the easy and good moments. But I feel like in a world that's like increasingly digital, increasingly divided at this point right now, my goodness, this is so crazy. I feel like the real nourishment doesn't come from individual achievement, but from these quiet threads of connection. Like, how much of our lives are spent chasing noise and milestones, and how much are we investing in the invisible networks that actually sustain us? Like the parks, the plazas, the streets, where we linger and witness each other. These might just be places where we reclaim community, but only if we let them. And now I've come back to make my lovely jamaica con canela, which I recommend. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I can't wait to like start doing this consistently. It's just that there's a time and a place. And right now things are a little difficult. But I will see you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching.